The month of September is always associated globally as Suicide Prevention Month, and experts say awareness is one way through which the battle can be won and more support being given to men and adolescents. Now, according to the World Health Organization, over 700,000 people commit suicide every year, making it the 18th leading cause of death worldwide.
And in Zimbabwe, suicide accounts for 1.8% of all deaths, with higher rates among men than women, and even higher rates in the elderly at 84.4 per 100,000. According to a 2020 report by the Zimbabwe Republic Police, between 2015 and 2019, 2,058 men and 505 females died by suicide.
We risk losing a lot more men because of cultural issues that are there, which prevent or prohibit men from seeking help because it's a sign of weakness, or speaking out because varume vanofanirwa kushinga, which I think has now become cliche. And also looking at our adolescents, what are we teaching them? What do they know? And I think one way to mitigate the issue of the rise on suicidality is awareness. We cannot say it enough, awareness. We need to take a look at what are the cultural practices that may be harmful to men's mental health, men's well-being, and the lack thereof. What are we saying to men? Men should not speak out, it's a sign of weakness. Men should always figure it out. And for those that are speaking out, they're also being titled as the weak alphas and letting down men, so to speak. But is it what is really happening when then we as the same people attend these people's funerals, these men's funerals, and say, oh, he should have just said something, if only he'd spoken out? What are we doing when they do speak out?
Now, obviously, those statistics are way high. We're talking about 2,058 men and only 505 women. Now, what Tich was saying earlier in the first hour, how men are always very quiet and, never really speak out much. But this is one thing that we are giving a call to all men to really open yourselves up. Open up and say, hey, I'm not okay. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, if you look at these statistics, it's not really something that we can say. It's quite troubling.
Yeah, we cannot ignore that.
Yeah.
I suppose they've had other ways of expressing their feelings, in the past. Now it's just an issue of becoming more deliberate.
Yeah.
To get help.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to say I'm not okay, and then we have a drink, and then we laugh it off and move on.
Yeah.
And then it's another to actually want to deal with the issue and get help with that.
Yeah. And it's very good. Help is always very important. And I do know that we've got, associations, friends, like friendship benches, places people can actually go and talk to somebody for help. Counseling centers, we've got plenty of those in the cities that we are in. Your churches, your pastors can also be a great help. And even in the school counselors, kids, if you need to get help, if you need to speak to somebody, go and speak to a counselor, and let's nip this thing in the bud. Actually, there's no need. One life lost is one life too many. When you start thinking about self-inflicted harm, it's very sad, because you can actually get help and get through the situations. Everybody is going through something, so we know that we are all going to be there for each other. So please, let's seek help in that regard.
Konapo ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.